Hello world, YouTube, subscribers, people that can relate. Yeah. And if you like it. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that. If you want to comment, you can comment too. But just don't say no crazy stuff, man, because, you know what I mean? There's no reason for that. Well, I got a topic of discussion I just want to talk about pertaining to, just like relationships or men and women relationships. Well, the thing is, what I want to talk about, it's the attraction of how you attract your opposite sex. Well, I think where they say you are what you attract, I agree and disagree to a degree, because it could be true and a lie, like, at the same time. So, why I say that, because when I lost my virginity, and they said I am what I attract. So when I lost my virginity, when I was like, how old was I? 17 or something like that? Yeah, I was like 17, like 3 months away from 18 or something like that. All right, I wasn't with nobody. I barely had nobody that I was like talking to about, that I had waiting, and like I didn't have a rotation or nothing. I was just, a virgin. I talked to girls, but I wasn't dating. I wasn't doing nothing like that at all. I had my crushes on certain women, because I'm very, very selective of who I like want to engage in. I don't just entertain any damn woman that likes me and stuff. But that being said, okay, they said they also attract. Well, the person I lost my virginity to, the girl, she actually had a boyfriend, and she was younger than me. So, but at the same time, I remember she used to talk to me. We used to talk, you know what I mean? Because we was real close. But she used to tell me stuff, but I didn't, I wasn't thinking like, I was like the emotional pillow or nothing like that. I used to just, we used to just talk and stuff, but I didn't recognize, I couldn't read between the lines of like if she was having issues with her boyfriend and stuff, because I wasn't, trust me, I'm not a home wrecker type guy or nothing like that. Then one thing led to another. All I know, I wound up in the box, man. It just happened. It wasn't like planned, and it just randomly happened, I swear. So that being said, I all want to attract. So I guess I'll be attracting the cheaters, the ones that's looking for a rebound or some type of feelings. I don't know. I guess that's what it is. Because then my next relationship, it was the same thing. It was like I was like the rebound, the top prospect guy. I didn't understand rebounds and stuff at that time when I was younger. You know what I mean? But I understand it now. Well, I guess I attract girls like that, trying to leave a relationship. I'm the next one lined up, I guess. So I'm trying to figure, like, how the hell I wound up attracting these type of women, married, or I don't have to be in a relationship necessarily. Well, when I got into the second relationship, I had like a somewhat of rotation. Well, I was 18 now. I'm 18 when I was working on the second relationship, and the person was in a relationship. I just had a rotation. I didn't have nothing commitment to, like a girlfriend, but I had friends that was like options or whatever. Because I always had, like, for some reason, I always had a mind of abundance. Always, because I remember even the paper I had, it was like girls, like, I was putting it, like, they had their numbers, because we had to approach girls back in the days. It wasn't no internet, you know what I mean? I'm talking about like the year 99, 2000 and stuff like that. Yeah, that was 20 years ago. Yeah, we had to approach girls. You had to build your confidence that way. So rejection was like, it is what it is. So, like, you go after what you like, and then she rejected you, or she gave you the number, and it was just life, So I did all that type of stuff, to build. I was trying to build my characteristics with women, so because I definitely know I wanted a woman, and eventually I wanted a family and children and stuff like that. I definitely wanted that, you know. So yeah, but like me attracting like girls that's trying to leave a relationship, going through trauma with their boyfriends, or they was married or some type of stuff. It's like something where like I never get luck with the girls that's single. And if I am dealing with a girl that I'm attracting that's single, I'm part of her rotation. You know what I mean? And I don't do well with no friend zones. Like I don't even play zone when I was even in basketball. I hated the zone. I played man to man, you know, but I, you know, since we talk about relationship, I'm into the opposite sex, so it's like girl to man, like, you know, something like that. Well, that being said, it's like basketball, you know, terminology, because a zone is a specific type of defensive structure, and playing man to man is just like you playing one on one on the person on defense and stuff like that. That's what man to man meant. So yeah, I can't put a finger on it of like why that happens to me. Because even now, after like now, sometimes I track baby mothers that I don't have kids with, married women that want to be fucking scandalous and shit. And mind you, I try to be married and try to have a family, and I don't know why I keep attracting these type of women. Like, I don't understand. They could be, you know, I'm a guy of, you know, that gotta attracted, you know, into my woman. She gotta be at least, you know, attractive for me. Like, I understand, yeah, that's like immature, whatever. Yeah, but you know, I want to be aroused. Because, you know, technically, I don't know, even though she could be smart, rich, but that's not gonna, you know, physically, that's not gonna arouse me. That other stuff, it aroused me. I ain't gonna say, you know, they got a nice personality, great attitude. Yes, it's another aspect of the arousing that arouses me too. But the physical gotta be important, because I don't want to be a limp D, you know what I mean? And when it's time for the action and I can't get it up, and I gotta pop a honey pack, or one of my man Cameron's pink horses, I forgot the name. I think it's called Pink Horse. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean. But I heard they put you through a marathon. You know, shout out to Cameron. Like, I ain't, you know, going against Cam, because Cam's that guy. I fuck with Cam. But you know, so I just, you know, I'm not saying I'm like the ladies man. No, I'm not. I'm not the cutest, but I'm sure ain't the ugliest. You know. So I just like, I don't know, what is it? Maybe it's my spirit. Maybe it's like my emotional intelligence is divinely, is like it's attractiveness to try to help them heal, giving them positive affirmations to be better, a better woman and stuff like that. Because, you know, I'm a rational man. Like, I don't try to be irrational with my feelings or trying to tell a woman just to make them feel good, or meaning pandering to them. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be realistic. You know, I'm gonna be very, very realistic, because that's what I would want too. I wouldn't want a woman playing games with me just because she likes me and shit. So she's playing these mind games or whatever type of games that she's trying to figure just to get you know, the right answers, or just be a yes man. No, I ain't no yes man. You know, even if I like you a lot, I would still say no, because there's power in yes and there's power in no. They both got power. But I just don't know, like, why do I attract a lot of these type of situations? It seems like I attract, like, I'm not saying it's wrong or right, but it's like it's not what I want. You know, with my second situation, it was what I want to a degree, but then it came with a lot of headaches. Like, you know, it came with a lot of emotional abuse. Me had to learn how to have not being sensitive to the feelings, because I had to learn how to be more emotional intelligent, and I was immature. I'm talking about a young man trying to have a family, you know what I mean, and stuff at a young age, and I wasn't even building my foundation yet. But, you know, like, I know a lot of women want to, you know, because it's young, when you're a young man, it's hard to be a finished project. You should be you're building from your project. So it's like when you're young in your 20s and 30s, you're building yourself up. But, you know, I didn't understand that at a young age. Well, I understand now. But, you know, that's why life and experience is your best teacher. So going through all that stuff, it definitely taught me how to realign or align what I want. I had to, trust me, I'm just, I know I could be magnetic in a good way, but it seems like I want to be magnetize something that's going to attract me what I want, and I can pursue and take my time, because I know how to be platonic and I can be romantic, but I can't be platonic to a girl that I like, that I'm attracted to, that I probably want to be with, or maybe start a family. It's hard. I don't know why women gets upset, or like, oh, you want to play the game? Oh, let's be friends. Because with me, when they tell me that, I've been there before. Even when the girls I had sex with, they used to, oh, we're friends. I don't like you like that. They used to throw me off. So I should be like, okay, but then I slip, fall, and land in the vagina. Like, I you know what I mean? Sometimes I don't get that part. You know what I mean? Because in the manga, like, they want to put that label with friends, but then eventually they want to be your girlfriend. I guess it's like a strategy, you know what I mean? I guess that's how the women do. Because honestly, we're the gatekeepers of relationships, and they supposed to be the gatekeepers for the sexual relations. So we gotta say, if we want to get married, the man, or if we want to have, you would be my girlfriend, then we can have access to having sex. But sometimes you can have access to her body even without a relationship or commitment too. It depends how much she likes you. She'll just let you go, like, and do, you know what I'm saying, and let you do your thing. I didn't have too much of that type of luck. I guess I don't have that type of game because I don't run games. I'm really more a transparent type of honest kind of guy, and that kind of intimidates a girl. They rather live with the lies and stuff, like live a lie. I try to be honest, but not try. I know I be honest, but in the midst of the relationship, once the feelings start to change. So it's like they start to, be more, very, very more controlling and dictating of how they want to orchestrate the relationship. And sometimes that kind of threw me off a lot when I thought I was making a foundation, and something I forgot. That's why I probably in this position, is because now I got more of a mental foundation of how I want my relationship, or have a relationship, that I never set with boundaries. I ain't never set no boundaries. That was my problem when I was younger, because I'm a free spirit. So I even with my friends, like growing up with my friends, only time I probably set boundaries, like, that they step on my toes, and then I might want to pop off or something like that. They trying to get me angry because I don't really. I'm serious, but I could be playful too. I don't like joke around when I don't want to feel like joking around and stuff like that, because I don't play with people like that. If they don't feel like joking around, I'm not going to be joking and stuff like that. So I was like, I had somewhat of, some boundaries, but not the boundaries I needed to protect my heart. That was the problem. I didn't protect my heart like I was supposed to. And, being a caring person and wanting to care about people's feelings, that's the most stupidest thing I ever did. I ain't gonna lie. I really admit that. I take accountability for that. I was real stupid trying to be this caring and thinking that everything is gonna work that way when everybody else got different feelings, and people's feelings are conditional, which I thought, I'm more unconditional type person. So that was the issue, So it's like I be attracting the women that want to be saved to a degree. Like they need my emotions, or they need something physical, some type of tangible or something. I attract this. And trust me, I'm not a big fan of being a stepdaddy. I'm not, because the reason why, trust me, I love kids and stuff like that, but when they not mine, they feel like they just feel, it's like, the respect factor is definitely low, and I don't like to get disrespected, and I don't want nobody disrespecting me, you know what I mean? So it's a tough thing to put yourself in. But I give the shout outs to the men that do it though. I ain't gonna deny the men, because trust me, I had a grandfather, which was my biological grandfather, but he held it down for my grandmother and my uncles and aunts and stuff. He held it down, went to work every day, 6 days, almost 5 to 6 days a week, dropping the money off, you know what I mean, to my grandmother, to where she had to take care of that, go shopping, take care of the bills and that type of stuff in that nature. So I come from a foundation of seeing like my grandparents being one and trying to, you know, work it out in harmony. You know, I seen that type of stuff, and that was what I witnessed, you know. So I definitely wanted that to a degree. I definitely wanted that. But, you know, I had to go through a lot. Well, you know, it was still a blessing that I did go through all that stuff, and I could be able to talk about it now, you know, for maybe future men, so they could probably be better men, and look at you know, look at like life or women or relationships. It's like you trying to graduate. Sometimes it's like you got to go to graduate out of elementary school. Then you got to go to junior high school. Then you got to go to high school. But once you get to the college level and all that stuff, that's when you're going to know what you really want. So that being said, I was dealing with elementary, high school stuff, and it definitely wasn't in my maturity factor. So as I grow and more intelligent, being more self-educated, I get into the college level of women. You know what I mean? And it's a different type of thing. So where now I can have a little bit more patience. I can listen. When I was young, I was very impulsive. So it was going to be tough for me to like listen. Now I would listen, but then it probably wouldn't absorb like I needed to. Which I have a very much better understanding, which I should have had. I wish I should have had when I was younger. Well, if y'all take heed to this and like what I said, you know, like the video, comment, you know, and that's it. And then enjoy the rest of y'all day.